sophomore, but Teddy Bridgewater could become part of the Heisman conversation before the end of the season. 18 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, number 5 in the nation in completion percentage. Bridgewater might be the single biggest reason why Louisville is on the verge of a Big East title. To remain unbeaten, the Cardinals will have to survive against a Syracuse team that's already proven they're never out of a game, overcoming a 23-3 deficit to beat USF earlier this year. Syracuse hosts Louisville now. And welcome to Syracuse, New York, in the Carrier Dome, as today the Orange, on their senior day, will host the undefeated Louisville Cardinals. Louisville might be one of 6 remaining unbeatens in college football, but still at 4-0 in the Big East, only good enough for a first-place tie with Rutgers. Syracuse hoping for bowl eligibility, so a lot to still be decided in the Big East. Hi again, everyone. Bob Wischusen here with Danny Cannell. Maria Taylor will join us in just a moment. 6 remaining unbeatens in college football. If Louisville wants to be a part of the conversation, they have to win a game on the road today, but they might have the best quarterback in their conference.
They really do. Teddy Bridgewater, just a sophomore, is putting up great statistics. 70% completion record, a strong touchdown-interception ratio, but it's the attention to detail, the little things that I noticed in my breakdown of Teddy Bridgewater that really impressed me. Here he is last week against Temple, and what I want you to notice here, pre-snap, knows he has the middle of the field open, wants to hit his tight end running a post route down the middle of the field. Well, in order to keep him open, it's the manipulating defenses with his eyes. You see him there looking off the weak side safety, knowing he's going to come back to his tight end with a perfectly placed ball. Great accuracy, great decisions out of Teddy Bridgewater.
As good as Teddy Bridgewater has been, he does not command the #1 passing offense in the Big East. That's actually Ryan Nassib with some weapons for Syracuse.
Oh, he's got some great guys on the outside. Marcus Sales and Alec Lemon. They're 2nd and 3rd in receptions per game in the Big East. And if Ryan Nassib and company want to stay in this game, they're going to have to put up a lot of points to compete with Louisville.
Charlie Strong, he might be in the conversation as well if Teddy Bridgewater works himself into the conversation about the Heisman for National Coach of the Year with what he's done so far.
Oh, without question, this team at 9-0, they are taking this Big East by storm. They're the favorites. They're in the driver's seat. They control their own destiny, and Charlie Strong has done a phenomenal job.
Charlie Strong, obviously on the visiting sideline. The home sideline will be Doug Marrone. It's senior day here at the Carrier Dome, and here come the Orange. Here's Charlie Strong, the head coach of the Cardinals, standing by with Maria.
Coach, you said even though you're 9-0, your team has yet to play perfect. What does it take to put together a complete game today?
Well, just offense, defense, and the kicking game. It's about eliminating the mistakes and just playing together as a football team. You
said you face a unique challenge coming into the Carrier Dome on senior day. What concerns you most about Syracuse?
Well, it's just an emotion, and it's going to be sky high for them. It's senior day, and then they want to win. They haven't beaten us in 3 years, so we have to be prepared. Our team must be prepared to go play an outstanding game today.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Maria, thanks very much. Danny, Charlie Strong, obviously an undefeated team and a quarterback that's been tough to beat.
Oh, Teddy Bridgewater having a phenomenal year. We saw what he did in the open, making great decisions, and he spreads the ball around to a great crew of wide receivers.
Louisville won the toss, deferred their option to the second half. So Syracuse letting the ball bounce as Jeremiah Cabina picks it up on a hop and gets out across the 20-yard line. So that's where things will line up for the #1 passing attack in the Big East. And it is commanded by Ryan Nassib here on senior day. He's already set a record for most yards in a season thrown for by a Syracuse quarterback.
We talked a lot about Teddy Bridgewater, but Ryan Nassib have an impressive year of his own. He's a smart quarterback. He's very intelligent, high IQ, runs this up-tempo Syracuse offense very well.
Set a record for yards last year and then broke his own record so far this season, still with 3 games remaining. And Syracuse has to win 2 out of those 3 in order to make it to a bowl game. On first down, they'll start with Jerome Smith. He is a pile driver of a running back, and he picks up about 3. Adrian Buechele there to make the stop. And Syracuse, they have a NASCAR pace. They want to get right back up to the line of scrimmage, call out a play, and snap the ball.
It's all about keeping the defense on their heels. The faster you go, the more simple you'll see.
Again, it's Smith. Very close to a first down. It looks like he may have a Syracuse first down. Let's see where they mark him down. He'll be about a half-yard shot.
You know, when you go at this up-tempo pace, defenses don't have time to disguise, to throw a lot of different coverages at you, so you're probably going to see their base defense early on.
Easily moving the chains is Smith. He's out across the 36-yard line. How about the Syracuse Impact Players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A?
Well, Marcus Sales on the outside. He's the deep threat for Ryan Nassib, Alec Lemon as well. And then Shamarko Thomas, we talked about the importance of him shutting down Teddy Bridgewater.
Nassib to throw for the first time. Wants the home run ball for Kobina. Makes a sliding catch inside the 20-yard line. What a great adjustment to the football by Jeremiah Kobina.
Well, they had a couple good runs early, set up the play-action pass, and you see Kobina, the ball was a hair underthrown, but he comes back to get it. Great job, focus and concentration, looking that ball in for the 45-yard gain.
The Orange already set to go. Certainly looked like a clean catch, and as of now, replay has not buzzed down to take another look. And the Orange get the snap off in the red zone. It's Smith, turns the corner. Jerome Smith at the pylon, out of bounds.
Well, Jerome Smith picked up a nice block by his tight end, number 85, Beckett Wales. But I think he does step out of bounds. You'll see him coming here as he gets close to the sideline. He tries to look down, but his momentum is going to carry him right there. You see the foot out of bounds where they're going to mark it.
I have it marked inside the 10 at about the 8. Nassib on a keeper. Cut down just shy of the 5-yard line. Nice read by Hakeem Smith to make the tackle for Louisville.
And Ryan Nassib, he is a great passer, but he's also a pretty good weapon on the ground. He's physical. And for the keys to the game, the Syracuse Orange, they have got to protect the football. They cannot turn it over in crucial situations. And then defensively, don't go after Teddy Bridgewater's eyes.
Second down, it's Smith. Moves the pile down close to the 2-yard line. It will be third down and goal. Preston Brown in the middle of the pile for the Cardinals to help make the stop on Jerome Smith, a junior who has emerged this year, averaging just over 81 yards per game rushing. And Syracuse, they've struggled in the red zone. They've only turned about 60% of their possessions into touchdowns. This is where far too often they have come up short, had to settle for field goals, or made big mistakes and turned the ball over. Third and goal, it's Nassib. Looks for a release man, fires at the goal line, it's dropped. Jared West had it in his hands and couldn't come up with it. So now, again, Syracuse, impressive drive. First and goal at the 8, and they have to settle for a field goal.
That's got to be frustrating for Syracuse, too. Such an impressive drive and then stalled at the end. Here's Nassib trying to hit the receiver right out of the break. The ball kind of caught him by surprise a little bit there, Jared West. But a pretty nice defensive play, too, by Andrew Johnson, to stripping that ball out.
So it'll be a chip shot for Ross Krautman from only 20 yards away. He has struggled this year, though, by far his lowest percentage of made kicks. 10 for 18. But tacks 3 on, and Syracuse takes the early lead. Louisville and Teddy Bridgewater to the offense when we come back. Syracuse 4-5 on the season. Louisville a perfect 9-0. Syracuse, though, takes the early 3-0 lead, and they were only a 2-point, 1.5-point underdog coming into today. Might be a little surprising, Danny Cannell, in terms of the minuscule spread, but with Ryan Nassib and the #1 pass offense for Syracuse doing what they did on that first drive, moving it pretty easily down the field, we could have a very competitive football game today.
Oh, without question. If they want to keep up with Louisville, they're going to have to score a lot of points today.
Sonoris Perry will take a knee. So our first chance to see the sophomore Teddy Bridgewater. As we take a closer look at the work he has done this season, #5 in the country at 70% completions, only 18 touchdowns against only 4 interceptions. He has been about as good as you could hope him to be.
Yeah, we had him in week 3 against North Carolina and was really impressing him in person. Broke down a lot of film of Teddy Bridgewater this week, and he's playing with a maturity beyond his years.
And he spreads it around. Damian Copeland leads the team with 33 receptions, but Devontae Parker, Andrell Smith, Eli Rogers, all with over 20 receptions each. So a lot of different targets for Bridgewater to work with. Jeremy Wright. About a 3-yard gain on 1st and 5. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Syracuse Diabate, the middle linebacker for Syracuse, made the stop. Two completely different paces of offense we'll see today.
Yep, Louisville a little bit more pro style. They can run the no huddle, but they'll huddle up. They'll shift a lot of formations. Teddy Bridgewater will check a lot at the line of scrimmage. You see here's a shift. Going to try to get them in the best situation possible.
Bridgewater bullets one on a slant left, and it's incomplete. Jeremy Wright, the intended receiver. It will be 3rd down and 2. And now the Louisville impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, you got Devontae Parker, the deep threat on the outside. Sonoris Perry, the running back, in what Charlie Strong called the surprise of the offense. And then defensively, Hakeem Smith is having an outstanding year at the strong safety position.
3rd down and 2. Bridgewater pops one over the middle and has an easy 1st down completion to Nate Nord, his tight end.
Nice simple pass completion for Teddy Bridgewater, finding his tight end right over the middle of the ball. See his tight end just hook over the middle. There's going to be a flat route on the outside. Teddy Bridgewater's first progression, tight end over the ball. He's wide open, delivers a perfect pass.
Now it's Sonoris Perry in at tailback, just behind Bridgewater out of the pistol. Sonoris Perry waits for the hole to form and picks up about 4. Jay Bromley tripped him up. It'll be 2nd down and 6 at the Syracuse 44. Bridgewater on a bootleg fake, wide open in the left flat. Devontae Parker. He's down the sideline, easily picking up a 1st down and plenty more. Out of bounds at the 28-yard line of Syracuse, a gain of 16.
It's really the attention to detail that impresses me so much about Bridgewater. That time it was the great play action. Stuck that ball way in the running back's belly. Totally fooled number 91, Brandon Sharp, who went for the running back, which enabled Bridgewater to find his outlet out in the flat.
Hand off to Wright. Picks up 2.5. Shamarko Thomas, leading tackler for Syracuse, came up to make the stop. And Shamarko Thomas, one of the great stories in this game. Lost his father as a freshman. His mother passed away because of heart disease before last season. He's the oldest of 6 children. His 5 younger siblings, all back in Virginia Beach, being tended to by his grandmother and an aunt. But he's basically the father figure. Says he talks to his younger brothers and sisters on the phone every single day.
He was really an impressive young man. Got to sit with him. Even through all the adversities, kept such a great attitude.
A little speed handoff on the flip forward, and Eli Rogers brought down. Looks like for no gain. It'll be 3rd down and long. Marcus Sproul stayed home and made the stop. After the 2nd timeout on this opening drive for the Cardinals, 3rd down and a long 2. Bridgewater looking for the end zone. Knocked away, intended for Devontae Parker. Well covered by Rashard Anderson.
Well, Rashard Anderson went up in press coverage, really challenged this play, but watch the great body control. It's just a little hand checking right there in great position. This Rashard Anderson. Devontae Parker can't come down with it.
So John Wallace, 8 for 9 so far this season, from 37 to try and tie it up. And he's now 9 for 10. We are tied at 3, and we'll step aside for less than a minute. Autumn has arrived here in Western New York, Syracuse University, and we're inside the Carrier Dome. The Orange tied at 3 early on with Louisville. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor. Teddy Bridgewater was 2 for 3 on 3rd down on the opening drive, but eventually stalled. Cardinals have to settle for 3. And now Syracuse set to take over again. Wallace with a returnable kick, angling to the far side. Codina fields it at the 5. Pinned up along the sideline, so can't make it past the 22. Tripped up there by George Morris. Nothing there. For Ashton Broyle, the true freshman. Brought down by DeAndres Mount. Lost a couple of yards. It'll be second down and long for Syracuse.
You know, watching the Syracuse offense, here they are trying to run a little zone read. Louisville doing a good job. DeAndres Mount on the backside.
Nassib throws it high to the sideline, way over the head of Marcus Sales, and incomplete. Now it's going to be third down and 12.
Yeah, Nassib had no choice but to throw that ball away. You know, it's interesting looking at this Syracuse offense running such an up-tempo pace. In talking to offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, he said they really made this decision a week before the season started, which is pretty unbelievable that you would do something so late in the game, but they've had a tremendous amount of success with it.
Louisville shows blitz on third down and 12. And they will bring a blitz. Nassib checks down underneath, finds Sales. Nowhere near a first down, so it'll be 3 downs and out for Syracuse. Akeem Smith was there to bring down Sales.
What you saw there, in a third down and long situation, if you're playing a team in a shotgun with 3 or 4 wide receivers, you blitz them so they have to throw hot to their underneath guy, and then you come up and make a tackle. That's why you saw Nassib take the underneath guy. He had to get rid of that football before he got hit.
Scott Radcliffe back to receive the punt of Jonathan Fisher. And Fisher gets away a high wobbly spiral. Radcliffe wants to return it. He has the football, and it's picked up by Syracuse. He took a peek to look at the oncoming blue and orange jerseys. And just barely taking his eyes off the ball was enough to turn it over. Llewellyn Coker comes up with the loose ball.
Shu, you saw it. He was looking down several times. I was saying, man, that's pretty impressive if he can make that catch. Watch Scott Radcliffe's eyes. That ball's in the air. He's trying to get a beat on where his blockers are coming. 3, 4 peeks down. And it's just that little break and that lack in concentration. You take it for granted, but it's the most simple thing in all of sports. Keep your eye on the ball.
Nassib on a play-action fake. Looking end zone. Over the head of Beckett Wales, the tight end. It'll be second down and 10 for Syracuse. Calvin Pryor in pretty good position underneath in coverage.
Yeah, I think Ryan Nassib got a little bit greedy there. A lot of times you'll take a shot after a turnover like that. I think he probably should have gotten off that ball. Was thrown a little bit in double coverage.
Looking for a cutback lane and finding it is Jerome Smith. Inside the 15. He's got a first down, it looks like. Preston Brown made the stop, but now in the red zone again, Syracuse. They settled for a field goal their first trip.
Well, Prince Tyson Gully is supposed to be the back with the shifty moves, but Jerome Smith right there making a couple nice little breaks to find some open space to run to.
First and goal, Tyson Gully uses a stiff arm. Dives for the pylon. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Syracuse.
Usually for your running back, you want him to make one guy miss. Watch Prince Tyson Gully. Right there is the missed tackle, and then he's able to get to that next level. Pretty athletic run by Prince Tyson Gully.
We thought Louisville might be in for a tussle, and it looks like it could be just that type of game for the Cardinals on the road. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. And the Orange, they need wins in 2 out of their last 3 games to become bowl eligible. They've got 4 wins. They need to get 6 up on the board. Line drive kick returnable. Takes a high hop to about the 9-yard line for Adrian Bouchel. And he is out close to the 25-yard line. Second down run for Jeremy Wright. He's got a first down. Gain of 11.
I personally, Bob, am a fan of, hey, a win is a win. You know, is there such a thing as a prettier win than another one? Maybe. But you've got to give Louisville a lot of credit for what they've accomplished this season. You know, it's interesting talking to Doug Marrone for Syracuse, saying, you know, what's the recipe for success versus Louisville? He kind of had a magic number in his head, and that was 28 points. They're on pace to do that so far.
Play action for Bridgewater. Somehow escapes the rush. With a ball fake, ends up picking up about a half yard. That was an impressive effort by Teddy Bridgewater as Brandon Sharp, number 2 in the Big East in sacks, just about came up with one.
There's the pressure off the edge. Number 91, Brandon Sharp. This is a great feel, a pocket presence. Bridgewater knows when to step up, when to time it, and then one more fake at the end of that play to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's why he's so tough to defend, because he makes great decisions from the pocket, but then he's got the athleticism to get outside and make guys miss.
A lot of pre-snap shifting for Louisville. Syracuse comes with a blitz. And getting loose into the secondary again with another first down run is Jeremy Wright. Looked like Diabate missed a tackle. Basketball game in Germany yesterday. Game day today on the aircraft carrier. It's been a lot of fun. Bridgewater wants a throwback screen. He's got Jeremy Wright. Wright with blockers out in front. Check that. Corvin Lamb. Down the sideline goes Lamb. At the 10 into the end zone. Touchdown. Corvin Lamb got loose and took it the distance.
Oh, Sonoris Perry out of the game. You know somebody else is going to have to step up. Corvin Lamb, the redshirt freshman from Miami, making the most of that screen pass. How about the Jets on that young man?
And the point after is good. So each team with a field goal to start. Each team has now answered with a touchdown. We're tied at 10, and here's another look.
Watch the little half rollout and the misdirection. Everybody starts flowing over this way. Meanwhile, the back slips out to the weak side. The right side just kind of hides himself. You get a couple offensive line in front of him. A nice job by number 55, Mario Benavides, by throwing his body, getting just enough of a defender that allowed Corvin Lamb to get to some open field.
If you're wondering why Syracuse may not have been ready for that on the scouting report, that's the first reception of the season for Corvin Lamb. So we are now tied at 10. Letting the ball hop and touching it across the goal line, and now having to risk a return is Kobina, and he'll be brought down inside the 10-yard line. Kobina was hoping for a hop out of bounds to get the flag, and it didn't come as we go down to Maria.
Guys, during the last offensive series, Charlie Strong spent a lot of time talking to his defense, specifically Keith Brown, but he was asking them, he said, who has touched the quarterback? Have you pressured him? Have you made him change anything about the way he wants to play the game? Really questioning his defense right now, guys.
That's a great point Maria brings up about getting pressure on Ryan Nassib. Any quarterback in the country, if you let him sit back there with comfort in the pocket, they're going to pick you apart.
Jerome Smith finds a lane. All the way out to the 30-yard line. Calvin Pryor brought down Jerome Smith, but he picked up 22 yards.
Well, when offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett talked to us about Jerome Smith, he said, hey, he's not going to break one for 80, but he's going to get you 10, 15 yards. Right here, watch the end of this play. Just can't make that last safety miss. What could have been a huge play, but still, nonetheless, a nice gain.
Four-man rush. Nassib well protected. High to the sideline. In stride. He's got Alec Lemon for a first down.
At that time, Ryan Nassib able to set his feet in the pocket. You see the mechanics. Sets his foot, delivers a perfect pass to Alec Lemon for the 28-yard gain.
Syracuse doesn't waste any time. They want another snap before the end of the first quarter. Wide receiver screen caught by Marcus Sales. And he almost got free. Picked up 6, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. A great start. Louisville and Syracuse tied at 10. Set for the start of the second quarter. And the orange tying Louisville at 10.
I thought Halloween was a couple weeks ago.
Well, you know, we've had some weather here in the Northeast.
That's
so
right.
My kids never got the trick-or-treat. They canceled it. How sad is that, canceling Halloween? We start the second quarter. Nassib, nice fake. And he dives for a first down. Bob Wischusen, Danny Canal, Maria Taylor here at the Carrier Dome. We expected there was a chance that Syracuse could surprise, maybe go toe-to-toe with Louisville. We have not been disappointed so far.
No, without question. And then Louisville gave them a second opportunity in the red zone with a penalty, and Syracuse made the most of it. You're seeing a couple quarterbacks play really well, making good decisions, a couple high-powered offenses. For me, it's fun to watch.
Nassib with a bullet to the sideline. He's got Alec Lemon back inside the 15-yard line. So they got back the penalty yardage and then some. Sets up second down and manageable at about the 13, maybe the 12.
I tell you, for a defense trying to defend against Ryan Nassib, it's so hard because he's in different spots in the pocket. That time was a little half rollout. Sometimes he sits back in the pocket in a true drop-back fashion, and then he can run that zone read at you.
Play action fake for Nassib. Looking end zone. Tipped away and almost intercepted. Adrian Buechele got a hand on it and almost created a chance for Akeem Smith to pick it off. Alec Lemon was the intended receiver.
A nice break on the ball from Adrian Buechele. About textbook as far as coaching up a secondary player on defending a pass. Went up with his right hand, kept his offhand off of the receiver to prevent himself from getting the pass interference call.
Calvin Pryor had it right in his hands too and couldn't hold on. So now it's 3rd down and 9. Nassib again looking for the back pylon. Alec Lemon's got it. Touchdown Syracuse.
Beautiful decision by Ryan Nassib. You're going to see a smash concept. Watch this player. He is in a bind. He's trying to cover both routes. He's got the corner behind him. Look at him there. He freezes for just that second, and he's done. He's on an island. The timing and the touch are what made that pass successful.
4th touchdown pass of the season from Ryan Nassib to Alec Lemon. That caps a 13-play, 92-yard touchdown drive, and Syracuse has the lead back. Can't place it any better if you're Ryan Nassib. And Syracuse giving Louisville all they can handle here in the first half. Buechele from the goal line, drops the ball. That completely disrupts the return, and he barely makes it out to the 7-yard line. Bubble screen, Andrell Smith picks up 2.5 to 3. Marquise Sproul made the stop on Andrell Smith. It'll be 2nd down and long. Marquise Sproul, by the way, a junior from Hillside, New Jersey. His senior year of high school, Hillside High School, 0-10 that year. They were so bad, he stopped telling his mom where the games were. High throw to the sideline. Bridgewater has a connection just shy of the 1st down. Damian Copeland with his first catch. That's a true story. Marquise Sproul said, my mom wanted to know where we were playing. I said, I'm not going to tell her anymore. I don't want her to come to the games.
And you know that being a Jersey native. You're very... That is a great story, though.
Third
she
down
can watch
short.
today. They're having some success.
Plenty of time on the play clock. Bridgewater might be changing the play. Delayed handoff goes nowhere. The timing of that play thrown off from the very start. Wright never had a chance, and on 3rd down and a foot, Louisville goes about 5 yards backwards. Jay Bromley in the backfield to make the stop.
Well, credit that home crowd for this one. The guard was a little late on his pull to get out in front, almost hit Teddy Bridgewater backing out of there. The timing was off, and Syracuse, great job of penetration by Jay Bromley getting in the backfield. Good stop for Syracuse.
Ryan Johnson to punt. Richie Desir. Returnable. Can't make the first man miss. Brought down at the 29-yard line by Jarrell McGriff-Culver. And we'll step aside with Syracuse on top. No Syracuse visit would be complete without a trip to Dinosaur Barbecue. It won the #1 barbecue place award in America on Good Morning America. looks low-cal.
Yeah, you know,
my kind of diet.
I called for a reservation and they laughed at me. You can't get in here. I even pleaded with them, said I work with Bob Wischusen. Still wasn't pulling any.
Yeah, normally I get you into some high-cal places.
Yeah.
Speaking of a good performance, the last time Syracuse had the football, 92-yard touchdown drive to take the lead. By yards, that's their longest drive of the season. They had a 91-yard drive earlier this year, but that's the kind of momentum that Ryan Nassib and the Syracuse offense now takes the field with.
Yep, and Nathaniel Hackett doing a good job of play calling, a nice mix of run and pass, and keeping that tempo at a high pace, keeping Louisville on their heels.
Syracuse's defense gets a stop, and Ryan Nassib with a fumbled snap has to go back and cover up at the 22-yard line. Now today's Aflac trivia question. Who holds the Syracuse record for most points scored in a game? The answer will seem logical. How he got there, though, might surprise you. And it's a football question, by the way, in case anybody wants to get tricky. Yeah, throw Lewis Orr out there. Nassib swings one to the sideline. Alec Lemon makes the catch. They're shy of the 30-yard line, or it will be third down and long. George Durant made the stop. Third down and a shade over 10 for Syracuse.
You know, Doug Marrone talked about critical mistakes. If Syracuse can't take advantage, make something happen this drive, that first snap may not have looked like a whole lot, you know, nothing bad, but putting yourself so far behind the 8 ball on first down, and this opportunity, this is a huge drive for Syracuse to really put a lot of pressure on Louisville.
Louisville rushes 4. Nassib up the seam instead. He's got Alec Lemon again. Another third down conversion and a strike thrown by Ryan Nassib.
Or you can just fire a perfectly placed ball right down the middle of the field on 3rd and 10. Look at Lemon in the slot, just running a post route right up the middle of the field, perfectly placed by Ryan Nassib. That's big. I mean, we're just talking about the pressure you can put on Louisville if you score points here.
Nassib already with 148 yards passing, averages 308 a game, number 11 in the country. They'll keep it on the ground now with Gully, and he picks up 4. James Burgess there to make the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for Syracuse.
Ryan Nassib, we know what senior day means to him. We saw the quote in the locker room, said we've never lost on senior day. And he's having a great performance thus far.
Gully up the middle again. Brought down about 3 yards shy of a first down by Brandon Dunn. So another third down opportunity now for Syracuse.
Louisville's having a tough time matching up on the outside. Syracuse has some weapons in Sales, Lemon, Kobina.
The Orange 4 for 7 on third down. Again, a 4-man rush. Again, Nassib all kinds of time. Up the seam again. And he's got Lemon. Touchdown. Second touchdown reception of the day for Alec Lemon. And what a first half it's been for Ryan Nassib. 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. And it's a 2-touchdown lead for Syracuse. Welcome back to Syracuse. As we said, appreciating the military today. At the Carrier Dome, if you showed a military ID in honor of Veterans Day, you got 2 free tickets. And there were certainly plenty of active service members keeping us safe around the world, and thank goodness some of them are home. To catch a football game on senior day here at Syracuse, where the Orange, Doug Marrone mentioning to us, he thought it was going to take at least 28 points to win this game.
He's at the bar too low.
Hey, he's got 24 with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor. As it's a 2-touchdown hole now for Louisville to try and dig themselves out of. And Buechele takes a knee.
Now with Louisville down 14, that pressure starts to mount. It happens when you're an undefeated team. They faced a lot of adversity this year. They've been able to overcome it. It comes that gut check. You don't want to get that first loss. You want to try to run the table.
3rd and 7. 3-man rush. Bridgewater has to check it down. And turning upfield and getting a first down is Jeremy Wright. Marquise Sproul missed a chance in the middle of the field to make the tackle, and the umpire might have gotten in the way and set a pick.
He definitely got tangled up with the umpire in the backfield trying to make that tackle. Just shows the importance of a check down for Bridgewater, able to just find his last option who picked up the first down for him. Shows you don't have to force the ball down the field to get the first.
Trying to bounce it outside, and maybe picking up a yard was Wright. Tripped up by Robert Welsh. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Well, there's a hit. Who holds the Syracuse record for most points scored in a game? Of course, it's Jim Brown.
Yep. And
arguably the greatest player ever, but how did he get there?
The 7 PATs are kind of what jumped out. And yes, he kicked those point after attempts.
That's a pretty neat note. Play action for Bridgewater on 2nd and long. Flips one to the sideline, and Hubble couldn't pull it in. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 9 for Louisville just across their own 40-yard line.
You know, Syracuse defensive coordinator Scott Schaefer, and watching this chess match unfold between a coordinator and an offense, and watching him keep Teddy Bridgewater off balance, bringing some blitzes, disguising coverages, mixing it up. I mean, apart from the 153-yard screen pass to Corbin Lamb, Louisville's offense has not done much.
Blitz coming. Bridgewater underneath to Wright. Well shy of the first down. Gang tackle. Dion Goggins was the first man there, helped out by Marcus Pierce-Brewster. And getting the 3rd down stop is Syracuse.
That time Scott Schaefer chose to blitz. Watch all the linebackers. You got 3 down defensive linemen. Watch all those linebacker type players come. Bridgewater knows he has to get rid of it, and then a great job by tackling the check down, something they didn't do on the previous 3rd down.
Desir makes the first man miss. Finds a cutback lane. Out to the 35-yard line. Brant Donovan, the long snapper, came down to make the tackle after a 20-yard return by Richie Desir. Let's take it. Trap handoff, finding some room is Gully. 2nd effort picked him up 8 yards.
Well, the Syracuse offense has really found a rhythm in the first half. And they're not slowing down one bit. They're up 14. If they can get some points here, we talked about the points of the last drive, getting this lead. If they can go in at halftime, a 21-point edge.
Nassib looking for that 21-point edge on this play. And it's incomplete. He was again looking for Alec Lemon. And Akeem Smith, the safety, back in coverage, but it looked like Lemon had a step.
And almost, that ball was perfectly placed by Nassib. Beautiful touch pass with a lot of rotation on it. Almost made a circus catch. Watch the one hand stuck out right there. Put 2 hands out there. Come on, you got to coach him up there, Bob. Get 2 hands on him. He might have been able to corral it in.
Huge play here for the Louisville defense. 3rd down and 2. And Gully goes right up the gut. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown!
With Charlie Strong, that look of concern on his face. 3 touchdown deficit.
And 341 yards of total offense in the first half for Syracuse. I think that'd have a lot of head coaches with a look of concern on their face. 21-point advantage for the Orange. The longest run of the season, 55 yards by Prince Tyson Gully.
Well,
it's senior day, but the junior gets it done.
Vance Bedford talked about the importance of tackling. That was his emphasis. Tackle, tackle, tackle. The end of the run right there, number 25. That's your opportunity to stop that play. Calvin Pryor cannot make it, and Prince Tyson Gully makes the most of it. And this Syracuse offense is rolling.
Prince Tyson Gully with 2 touchdowns, Alec Lemon with 2 touchdowns, and Teddy Bridgewater has to regroup. Ryan Norton sends this one booming through the back of the end zone. Long throw to Parker. And he's across the 40 to the 42. Steps out there, and that's good for a first down.
I think it's imperative that Louisville gets some points on the board here. A touchdown would be great, but even a field goal just to try to catch a little bit of momentum going into halftime.
Bridgewater works the sideline. And getting what he can as Jarek Davis steps out of bounds. About a yard shy of a first down, but it stops the clock as well with 39 seconds to go in the half.
But still, Louisville not able to take a shot at the end zone. And if you're Scott Schaefer for Syracuse, say, hey, take those checkdowns all day long. We'll force you to kick a field goal, maybe get a block. Just don't give up that touchdown before half.
Bridgewater right up the seam again to Eli Rogers, his old high school teammate from Miami Northwestern. Jeremy Wilkes there to make the stop, easily a first down. And Bridgewater, I think, wants to clock it, and he will. Preserving that final timeout with 29 seconds to go in the first half.
A lot of times in this 2-minute drill, you can catch a defense. There's a lot of space in the middle of the field. They're playing a lot of cushion on the outsides. Find that kind of soft spot in the middle of the field. And that's exactly what Bridgewater did that time.
And he spreads it around.
Yeah.
17 completions now to 10 different receivers in the first half for Teddy Bridgewater.
But no real big plays besides the screen pass.
3-man rush. Bridgewater wanted to go to the end zone. Now throws underneath. Low throw. Devontae Parker actually did not complete the catch, and that's probably best for Louisville. If he catches that ball, they probably have to spend their final timeout just to have a chance to try a field goal. Now it's third down, and the clock stops.
One more look at that catch. See, that ball clearly hit the ground.
That benefited Louisville.
And Bridgewater's got to make sure he stays patient, goes through his progressions, doesn't try to force anything here, and lose out on an opportunity for a field goal.
Here comes the blitz. Bridgewater, he can try and run for it. He's got room. Can he get to the first down marker? Cut down out of bounds, and he'll be marked down shy by about 2 yards. Shamarko Thomas comes over and saves a third down conversion for Syracuse.
Well, Shamarko Thomas, when we sat down with him yesterday in Cannell's classroom, he said he was the fastest player on the team as well as the biggest hitter. He showcased a little bit of both of those skills on that play in pursuit of Teddy Bridgewater.
So Louisville will indeed have to settle for 3. It'll be a 35-yard field goal attempt for John Wallace. He's 1 for 1 today.
Doug Marone said, hey, we feel good about our special teams, potential for blocking a kick or a punt.
Not this time. But still a win for Syracuse defensively before halftime. Teddy Bridgewater, who has been terrific so far this season, can't run the 2-minute drill for a touchdown. But a struggle for the Cardinals, undefeated, trying to stay there, down big as we head back to the studio in a moment and the Capital One halftime report. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse. There is a lot to celebrate for the Orange fans. 31-13. They lead number 9 Louisville, set for the start of the third quarter. And the pass rushers gearing up for the second half for Syracuse as Teddy Bridgewater. He has pulled off Danny Cannell some second half come from behind wins so far this season at 9-0, but not from 18 points down.
And he really needs to step up and become more vocal. He's just a sophomore, but he's been the leader of this team. Somebody needs to match this intensity level that we're seeing here in Syracuse.
Louisville deferred their option to the second half, so they will start the third quarter with the football. Adrian Bouchot on the run back. Squeezes across the 20-yard line. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor here. How surprised are you at what we're seeing on the scoreboard and the performance, particularly of the Syracuse offense the first half?
Well, you know, talking to Doug Marrone yesterday, you saw the numbers they were putting up, and he said, hey, we're killing ourselves. We're having way too many turnovers that are just killing our drives. They've eliminated those mistakes today, and you're seeing the production. You're seeing the results. They're able to match, you know, put up touchdowns and not settle for field goals, and they're putting up a really impressive offensive performance.
Syracuse trying to disguise. They'll rush 4, and a running crease for Jeremy Wright. And he's got 11 yards and a first down. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. And here's a play that got things started. A big play for Syracuse in the first half.
Well, Alec Lemon had a huge first half. This is one of 2 touchdown catches. Beautifully thrown ball by Ryan Nassib to the corner of the end zone. Alec Lemon had 123 yards receiving as well.
So Alec Lemon with a couple of touchdowns. Teddy Bridgewater escapes the rush. Breaks another tackle. And picks up a couple of yards out to the 35-yard line.
How many times have we seen Bridgewater sit in the pocket, survey the field, going through his progressions, and there's nobody open down the field? He's either having to settle for checkdowns or scramble and get some grounds on the field. Watch this. He gets good protection. He's going through his progressions, looking downfield, solid, lots of time, eludes a tackler, and then nothing's there, and he only gets a 2 or 3 yard gain. And Syracuse is doing a great job just containing this Louisville offense.
Bridgewater again in trouble. Unloads low, and it's scooped up by Ryan Hubble. He's about 2 yards shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 2. That time Deion Goggins got a lot of pressure on Teddy Bridgewater.
Deion Goggins had Teddy Bridgewater within his grasp. Somehow Bridgewater was just able to sidestep that sack and fling it out in the flat, which is such a key play, keeping this in 3rd down and short.
But the same story. Again, went through his first couple of progressions and there was nothing there. 3rd down and 2. Louisville 5 for 9 on 3rd down. Bridgewater tipped ball and still a completion. Ryan Hubble comes up, and now they say incomplete. It was ripped away. Ryan Hubble couldn't hold on to it. Dyshawn Davis got a hand in and pulled it out.
But the ball was tipped to the line of scrimmage, threw off the timing of the pass. But you saw it, Dyshawn Davis, great job of stripping that ball out and preventing the first down. So Louisville's struggles continue. I mean, they've been able to move the ball. They haven't been able to score. Just that one big play. The screen pass to Corvin Lamb.
Richie Desir calls for a fair catch. And not a field position changing punt. Only 33 yards. We'll step aside. Syracuse has it back. Welcome back to Syracuse. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor. It's college football on ESPN. And it's a big lead for Syracuse, 31-13. And the Orange have the football back for the first time in the second half. Nassib. Right up the seam again to Alec Lemon. That's been the hookup, and oftentimes that's been the pass route as Lemon has done damage in between the hash marks, a gain of 20.
I mean, just a perfectly placed ball. They're just going to run vertical routes. This is that inside post. But watch the perfectly placed ball by Nassib.
Nassib on a keeper. Picks up 3.5 to 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 at midfield. Akeem Smith made the stop.
And Nassib has been through 3 offenses. First year did not spend any time in the shotgun. Was all under center, trying to develop as a pocket passer. Second year, 50-50. This year, almost exclusively from the shotgun. And up-tempo.
High throw. Just shy of the first down is Jared West. Actually reached the ball out. May have picked up a first down. You know, it was fun talking to Nathaniel Hackett about Nassib. And Hackett told us that I have to be right all the time because he knows the offense better than I do. And if I'm wrong, then I look kind of like a dope because he turns around and immediately knows that I've made the wrong play call. He's just that in tune with their offensive system. 3rd down and a foot. Gully A little cutback, and he has the first down. Another third down conversion for Syracuse. They are now 8 for 11 on third down.
Goalie, really a shifty back in the backfield. We talked about on his touchdown run. You're not going to be able to block every defender. Typically, a running back has to make one guy miss. Another example, made that one defender miss to pick up the first down.
Syracuse does not wait long. They just have the foot on the pedal offensively throughout, regardless of the score. Smith tripped up behind the line. Roy Philon got a hand in and brought down Jerome Smith. A loss of a yard. It'll be second down and 11.
Roy Philon, the big defensive tackle, able to get penetration, just slicing his way through that offensive line. Nice tackle for a loss right there.
Smith again, bounces it outside, breaks a tackle, goes to a first down. Brought down 2 yards shy. It'll be third down and 2 at the Louisville 35.
Right, Jerome Smith, big physical back, 6 feet, 217 pounds. Really had to learn how to become a running back, making guys miss, learning how to deliver blows instead of receiving them. He just looks strong today.
Big play here for Louisville defensively. Can they get a third down stop? They'll try it with Smith again. He finds a cutback lane, and there he goes. At the 20, at the 5, pylon, touchdown.
Well, this offensive line for Syracuse up front, just a great job of mashing Louisville's. Look at that, crashing down on them. And then Smith with a nice little cutback. But Syracuse's offensive line is pushing around Louisville's defensive front right now.
35-yard run for Jerome Smith, his longest run of the season. And Syracuse now has 413 yards of total offense. And we still have the better part of 9.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Jerome Smith, that little move right there, missed tackle. And Syracuse putting the pressure on the Cardinals.
Cheerleaders getting their workout today.
Yes, they
At least
are.
the guys, if they're doing push-ups for every point, they've done a bundle as Syracuse has opened up a 38-13 lead over one of the 6 remaining unbeatens in college football coming into today in Louisville.
Doug Marrone said he wanted to score 28 points in the whole game. He had almost that much at halftime.
Right from the goal line. Bottled up at about the 12, maybe the 13-yard line. Wow. So now Teddy Bridgewater's got 96 yards, or rather 94 yards to try and traverse. We'll start with Jeremy Wright. He only picked up one of them. Marquise Sproul made the tackle. Second down and long coming again for Louisville.
And this plays right into Syracuse, their scheme defensively. Hey, let them drive 94 yards, but make them do it on a slow clip. Just chunk down the field. Let them eat up a lot of this play clock.
Bridgewater, home run ball from the end zone. Coming back to make the catch, Devontae Parker. An underthrown ball as Bridgewater was hit, and that allowed Devontae Parker to adjust. Jay Bromley and Brandon Sharp popped Bridgewater in the end zone, but he gets a big completion out to Parker.
Well, you saw the hit. Here's Devontae Parker on the outside, just going to run a straight 9 route. Pretty good defense there by Brandon Reddish. Lost the ball at the end, and why the ball was underthrown right there, Bridgewater not able to step into it. Boy, he gets pounded by 2 defensive linemen for Syracuse. It was a 36-yard gain.
Underneath, Eli Rogers dragging across the middle, picks up about 5. Shamarko Thomas step for step with Rogers. Second down at about 2.5. They gave him close to 8 yards on that reception. And now Louisville Down by a bundle, picking up the tempo a bit, going no huddle, 2nd down and 2. Here comes a blitz and a hot route completion to Andrell Smith and a Louisville 1st down.
You know, I'm such a fan of no huddle offenses because if you can complete a few balls, you can really get into a rhythm and things start to click. And Louisville offensively, we haven't seen them. It's been kind of just sluggish a little bit. They have a play here, play there, maybe a penalty. But I think it's a good move for them to go no huddle at this point, try to catch some of that momentum.
Bridgewater wants the deep ball, wide open at the 10-yard line is Rodgers. And he is at the goal line. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown Louisville. There's the big play the Cardinals needed offensively. That's a pair of high school teammates hooking up. Teddy Bridgewater to Eli Rodgers. Miami Northwestern scoring the touchdown
Syracuse
there.
defensively has been worried about the outside. Watch the route down the middle of the field. That's the vulnerable spot in this zone. To see it pop open, and Bridgewater finds that huge area to loft that ball in for the big touchdown pass.
That ball deflected and blocked. Syracuse gets a block on the point after attempt.
Remember, Doug Marrone said, hey, I think we can block a kick or a punt, maybe even 2. Well, he got 1 on the extra point attempt.
Let's take another look and see if we can pick out who had it. It might have been Eric Kroom in the middle. Hard to tell. See if 52 gets his hand up. I think it was 52.
Yep. Nice job, bull rushing his way through there.
Syracuse on top of Louisville, 38-19 as Teddy Bridgewater fires a touchdown pass. Bridgewater now 313 yards passing. Louisville with only 359 yards of total offense. There's Kobina. He's got a lane. Kobina hurdles a man. Still on his feet out to about the 44-yard line. So now Syracuse making plays in all 3 phases as they get a point after attempt blocked and a big kickoff return to change field position. And the Syracuse offense back to work near midfield.
And he is ready. Look at the offense. They're up there lined up, rearing to go.
They had to wait for the official to swap footballs out. Ball boy's barely getting off the field. Ryan Nassib takes the snap, gives it to Gully. Gully tries to turn the corner, and he's brought down. A loss of 1.5 yards. Good job by Keith Brown that time to hold the edge.
It'll be interesting to see how Syracuse responds to that touchdown from Louisville. You know, the pressure kind of goes back on them to keep producing, to keep moving that football.
Nassib over the middle of the lemon again. Alec Lemons spins down to the 36-yard line.
Well, Ryan Nassib delivers a nice ball. That one was a rocket that he threw to Lemon on just a quick slant route. Very decisive decision maker in the pocket. He's an intelligent quarterback. Has made great decisions all day long.
And now they go back to the sledgehammer in Jerome Smith. And he picks up about 6 yards. And that could take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. There's no reason for Syracuse to snap the ball again. I think that's what Doug Marrone is telling his offense for the first time today. He's saying, slow down, guys.
And Charlie Strong, that look, trying to will his team back into this game, doing everything he can to battle their way back.
38-19, Syracuse on top of Louisville as we head to the 4th quarter. The Express immortalized outside the Carrier Dome. A look at Ernie Davis, whose life and football career certainly tragically cut short. Terrific movie, by the way. And it was premiered here in Syracuse the last time I was here actually calling a game, about 4 years ago. And he's immortalized inside as well. Ernie Davis winning the Heisman in 1961, and Ernie Davis Legends Field is the name of the field here at the Carrier Dome. And the Syracuse Orange on Senior Day doing all the alumni proud. 38-19 as we head to the 4th quarter. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, and Maria Taylor. Tyson Gully. A little bit of a cutback run and brought down shy of the 25-yard line. 466 yards of total offense through 3 quarters for Syracuse. It almost seems like they could name their number.
They really could. I mean, they have pretty much had their way with Louisville. Louisville needs to kind of flip the script. They need to do some things to make plays on the other side of the ball. They're receiving too many blows. They're playing on their heels. They need to dial up some blitzes, get a little bit more aggressive, take some chances, because they haven't done anything to slow down the Syracuse offense. If you're going to get beat for a touchdown, at least just get it out of the way quickly. Let your offense get back on the field.
And it's another third down conversion for Syracuse, back to the 25-yard line. Prince Tyson Gully converts, and he stays in the game at tailback behind Ryan Nassib. Time no gain on first down. Brandon Dunn made the stop as we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary and statistics through 3 quarters. Louisville, one of 6 remaining unbeatens, but they are in big trouble as Ryan Nassib has put 232 passing yards on the board against 239 rushing yards.
That's been a fun battle of quarterbacks as well.
End around, the flip to Alec Lemon. And he jitterbugs his way back to the 25-yard line. No gain. Brandon Dunn stayed home and got some help from Akeem Smith. So here's a spot where for Louisville, no margin for error. You have to get a stop on 3rd and 10.
Without question, you've got to force Syracuse to a field goal. And even still, I wouldn't mind seeing them take a chance, try to blitz, try to force the issue. And if you can get a sack and push them back and make that field goal attempt even that much tougher.
Here comes that blitz. Nassib off his back foot finds Lemon. He's got a first down. The ball pops out, but the officials immediately say that Alec Lemon was down by contact, and Ryan Nassib, throwing off his back foot, does it again.
Well, Ryan Nassib, unbelievable job, knowing he was going to get pressure, retreated to find the receiver, and then here's the very end of the play. Alec Lemon he knows where the chains are. He's trying to stretch for that first down, and in the process, see that ball pop out towards the end.
Gully weaves his way to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 4 or 5. Brandon Dunn made the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 10.
I mean, even on that last first down conversion, the play that we just saw, you saw Louisville get aggressive. They forced Nassib to throw the ball underneath, but then they missed the tackle at the end of the play, and we knew that was going to be a theme coming in. Vance Bedford said, hey, our defensive philosophy this game, the keys to the game, he emphasized it, tackle, tackle, and tackle. And they have not done that today.
For the first time today, we see Adonis Amin Moore in the game as the lone setback. The tank package. And he'll hammer it right up the middle at the 5. Pounds his way down to about the 3-yard line. Well, inside the red zone, sometimes Syracuse likes to go to this heavy look, and that is exactly what Adonis Amin Moore is at 5'11", 239-pound sophomore.
I'd be surprised if they do anything else but keep it on the ground at this point. I mean, they're getting 7-8 yards a clip, no matter which running back is in there.
Hold the phone. Syracuse huddling.
Why not? That big goal line unit in there. Take your time. Start milking some of that clock.
8 runs on the 10 plays on this drive. And again, it's Amin Moore at tailback. Play action. Nassib. Bobble ball, and it's caught for a touchdown. Llewellyn Coker, the linebacker who lines up at fullback, slips out of the backfield, makes a touchdown catch, and Syracuse is pulling every weapon out of the arsenal today.
It just shows you, every coach tells you we have to run the football because of what opens up off the run game. Great play action pass, and boy, what about Coker? The job he did, his body was out of control, was able to turn around, found the ball late after it was in the air, and able to bring that pass in. Really an athletic catch by Coker.
Upset alert and then some. Number 9 really being dismantled on the road today. Ryan Nassib on senior day putting on a heck of a performance. 3 touchdown passes today, and backing up what he said. This was in the Louisville locker room before the game. A cardboard cutout of Ryan Nassib, what he said this past week: we have never lost on senior day. That was supposed to be the bulletin board material that was going to put a charge in the Louisville Cardinals. Well, they have not responded. Ryan Nassib has backed it up. Alec Lemon again has been his favorite target. 6 different players for Syracuse.
Coach Bowden used to have a saying that he would say before every game. The last thing he said in his pregame speech, seniors, you will not let us lose.
Another touchback. Syracuse more than happy to exchange yards for time now. And now, big play up the middle to Andrell Smith. He's in plus territory, and that's the kind of chunk play that the offense for Louisville has to have if they're even going to put a scare into the Cuse with 10.5 minutes to go.
That play was set up by Teddy Bridgewater, looking off the safety. We talked about at the very open of this game how he manipulates defenses with his eyes. Great example right there.
Bullet pass to the sideline. Bridgewater finds Damian Copeland again, very close to a first down, about a 9.5-yard gain. Second down and short.
You know, Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator, said he loves the way Teddy Bridgewater uses his eyes. And his phrase, which I loved, he said, your eyes can be used as a weapon of mass destruction to just annihilate defenses. And that's what Bridgewater is able to do so well.
Blitz comes off the edge. The screen set up behind it, and it's dropped by Jeremy Wright.
Oh, a missed opportunity, too, for Louisville. They had the blitz. You want that when you've got a screen pass called. Wright just couldn't keep that ball. Had some room to run, too. That look says a lot right there on Charlie Strong's face.
3rd down and a half yard in what is obviously 4-down territory here for Louisville. And Bridgewater wants to sneak it, fumbled the ball, gets it back, and got a first down.
That ball was on the ground. Bridgewater kind of scooped it up to himself and was aware enough to get that first down still. Watch this ball on the ground. Teddy scoops it up with his left hand. Boy, that could have been a disaster for Louisville. They can't afford any turnovers.
Bridgewater trying to escape the pocket, throws it high, climbing the ladder at the 10-yard line is Radcliffe down to about the 8. How close was Bridgewater to the line of scrimmage when he let go of that ball?
He was extremely close, but I think he was in the clear. That's one of the things that impresses me about Bridgewater is that he still presses the line of scrimmage, but keeps his eyes down the field to find those receivers like he did on that throw. Here's one more look. Yep, but he was behind that line of scrimmage.
It's 1st and goal. Bridgewater wants to waste no time. Looking end zone and has to throw it away. Deion Goggins came with some pressure, forced the throw away. Robert Welsh there as well. It'll be 2nd down and goal, and we've had a couple of yards in today's game.
Yes, we have. Both these teams, you know, the difference has been Syracuse defensively has not, they've buckled things down in the red zone for most of the game. They haven't given up that huge play. Gave up a couple touchdown passes, but for the most part, have been able to keep Louisville in check when they had to.
And the balance for Syracuse as well.
Yes.
250, 250. And instead of it all being through the air. 2nd down and goal. Bridgewater. Back shoulder throw, fought for and won by Devontae Parker for the touchdown.
Wow, what an impressive catch by Devontae Parker. A great throw by Bridgewater. That was that back shoulder fade route, which is almost impossible to stop. Here's number 9, Rashard Anderson in coverage. He's watching the wide receiver, has no chance to recover from that. You're thinking, hey, I don't want to get beat over the top. And then you drill that ball right at the back shoulder. Devontae Parker adjusted perfectly.
So it's 45-26. 8:53 to go in the 4th. Another look at the touchdown.
Here's one more look. Devontae Parker sets the DB up nicely. Rashard Anderson's looking for it but can't find it. Now Louisville's defense needs to make a stand.
Got some masks. The mask. Cape Crusader is here.
Cape Crusader? Is that what you said?
Syracuse has brought their hands team up close to guard against the onside kick, and instead Louisville will send it deep. Chases Kobina back inside the 5-yard line. And he's out to about the 17. Adonis Amin Moore picks up 2 yards. ABC Tuesday. When life's plans don't always have a happy ending, you better have your friends to fall back on, even if they make it worse. It's being called the best comedy on TV. Comedy Gold, a blast to watch. All new Happy Endings, Tuesday, 9, 8 Central on ABC.
You know, coming in here, Bob, we were wondering how this Syracuse team would come out playing at home. Their season hasn't gone quite the way they've wanted to. Wondering what kind of crowd we was seeing. And you got to give credit to Syracuse for enthusing this crowd early on with some offensive success and never looking back.
Amin Moore about a yard away from a first down as we check in with Robert Flores.
All right, Bob, AT&T All-America Player of the Week nominee. It is Wisconsin running back Monte Ball. 3 touchdowns in the Badgers' big win against the Indiana Hoosiers. Wisconsin is headed to the Big Ten Championship. You can text VOTE to 34763. Results revealed Thursday on ESPN.
We've got a few players this afternoon for Syracuse offensively that might have something to say about who ought to be the player of the week. How about Alec Lemon? 9 catches, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. Third down, Amin Moore, and that looks to be good for a Syracuse first down.
See, you're going for the wide receiver. I was just about to say what a great game Ryan Nassib has had.
I understand. You know, I understand your bias and your bitterness.
It's always the guy throwing the ball. But no, you are right. Alec Lemon has had an unbelievably successful day. And this Syracuse offense, to tell you what, they have been clicking on all cylinders.
.513 yards of offense for Syracuse. Almost an even split on the ground and through the air. There's Amin Moore again. He's got 6 more, and now some pushing and shoving after the whistle. Frustration for the Louisville defense, understandably, but the officials do a good job to make sure that tempers don't flare. You don't want an ugly incident at the end of a game that obviously is a situation where Syracuse should be able to celebrate. We got over 1,000 total yards in the game between these two teams, and Louisville's not dead yet. Louisville is now going to be a 1-loss team. They play Rutgers last game of the regular season of the Big East. Rutgers will now be at 4-0, the top team in the Big East. So Louisville could still win the Big East, but this will be a tough loss for them to stomach. As Amin Moore stood up at midfield by George Durant.
You know, and also looking at the Big East too. I mean, it's a conference where anything could happen. I mean, last night you saw Pitt get beat by UConn. I mean, we've seen kind of strange games happening all year. Let's look at Louisville's remaining games. That game at Rutgers could be the deciding game there in the Big East.
Syracuse can take the game clock all the way down to about a minute to go before snapping the ball on 3rd down and 4. They'll give it to Amin Moore, and he'll pick up the first down, and that'll ice it. 1 knee is all that remains between Syracuse and a win on Senior Day, and almost 10 years to the day, their first win over a top 10 team.
Now, Syracuse also that much closer to getting a bowl game on their schedule. They'll need just one more, win one of their last 2.
Ryan Nassib on Senior Day, set to take his final snap. And that'll do it. So Louisville, their first loss on the season. And a dominant performance by Syracuse, 45-26. And Charlie Strong will have to mentally regroup his team for the last couple of games of the season, as the road was not friendly today to the Cardinals. Let's go down to Maria.
Coach, you said coming into this game you liked your chances this year more than you had the past 2 years against Louisville. What gave you so much success today?
Well, I'll tell you what, we did a nice job offensively coming out, and you know, defensively we did some things well. And you know, the kids played hard. You know, it was senior day, and you know, tomorrow's Veterans Day, and we appreciate everything that they do. We had some veterans come in and speak to the team last night. So, you know, our kids played hard in that last game. We've had a couple of tough breaks during the year, and I'm proud of the way they played.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks. Thank you.
Terrific job by Jug Marone's team. And again, our final score, a dominant performance on senior day for Syracuse, 45-26. Back to the studio now, and John Saunders.